Hello, my name is Cecil Andrews. It is November of 2012, and I wanted to give you some information about an exciting program here in Granite Falls, the Granite Falls Mural Project. Um, we're going to talk about the problem that we have here in Granite Falls as we foresee it. We're going to talk about the solution that we see. I want to show you some sample programs from other communities, how they're dealing with this problem. We'll take a look at some of the existing murals in Granite Falls, a surprising thing to most people that don't realize there are murals in Granite Falls, and we'll talk about the current progress that we have made so far in the mural project here in Granite Falls. We do have a problem. We have a graffiti problem in Granite Falls, as you can see. I'll go quickly through the slides because I don't want to advertise the graffiti we have, but I just want to show you some examples of graffiti we do have. You can see these are residential as well as businesses. The one on the right on the senior center is one we'll talk about a little bit later. This is just an example of some of the graffiti that we have discovered here in Granite Falls. We did a survey of graffiti prior to one day, an event where we have volunteers clean up and do things around town. And one of the things we did was remediate graffiti. And in this slide, you can see the places in Granite Falls where we identified graffiti for that event. So it is getting to be quite a bit of a problem. We feel that the problem basically comes from our youth. We know that the graffiti and vandalism is done by young people. Most of it, as we see around town now, is vandalism. However, we do anticipate that we will eventually begin to see gang tagging, graffiti in that form. Solutions to the graffiti problem involve right now temporarily painting over the graffiti as a deterrent. You can see the fence on the left that had graffiti on it. The fence on the right was remediated during our one-day event. And it's not attractive, and it's really a temporary solution because it does not prevent the graffiti artists or the vandals from coming back and doing it again. So let's look at some examples of what other communities are doing. The SoDo District has an urban arts program. This is a wonderful program that has been implemented down in the SoDo District south of Seattle. It's been in existence for almost 20 years. They do a wonderful job. The Metro Transit Authority has also started a mural program to combat graffiti in their bus shelters. This is one of the examples you can see from the SoDo District. It's a block-long mural on a grocery outlet store. You'll notice that the mural has not been vandalized. Here's some examples also in the SoDo District of areas that have been vandalized with graffiti on blank walls. You'll notice that this graffiti is actually bordering on the artistic side. The graffiti artists did a lot of work on these, and it just seems like these youth could be given some direction and purpose and put their talents to better use. You can see that on this mural, the style of the mural is somewhat like the graffiti that we saw on the previous slide, but this is much more attractive and it is much more purposeful. This is what we want to direct our youth into, this kind of art. Some of the other murals in SoDo District are very imaginative. This, for example, is one of the three-dimensional murals where they have things standing out from the building. Lots of different things that we can do with murals. This is an example of a mural that has a cartoon theme to it. Very attractive, and it's a quite long building. You'll see over on the right side, in that last panel to the right, they've actually recognized the sponsors and the artists who prepared this mural. So we can see who prepared it, who paid for it, Safeway, and some other people provided scaffolding and so forth. Painting a mural, we feel, will deter graffiti. We want to work on a theory that the murals prepared by the youth will not be vandalized by the youth. They will pretty much police their own property, because once they paint a mural, the youth own it, and they can take care of policing their own society, if you will. It is not a perfect solution. You can see that on the previous slide that I showed you, you can see there's some graffiti that's been applied actually to a mural, but we feel this is the exception rather than the rule. In most cases, a mural will not receive additional graffiti. You can see in this photograph that the mural on the left was painted, and you can see it was one of Urban Artworks murals. The graffiti and the vandals painted the graffiti on the building to the right, on the end of the building, on the red thing. However, they did not mar the actual mural. And this is the principle that we're operating under, that this will deter graffiti by painting murals. Again, you can see that Urban Artworks are responsible for this particular mural. It's quite attractive. Urban Artworks has a theory, or their working policy, or their mission statement. This is what they feel. Something powerful happens when you give young people a chance to create public artwork. They find a positive way to express themselves, but something more powerful still takes place when these individuals have led lives considered at risk. They feel more connected to their communities and to their peers, and they gain real-world skills that prepare them for the future. Urban Artworks has taken over 5,000 youth through this program since 1995. Let's take a look now at the Metro Transit Authority's program. You can see that they have murals painted on their bus shelters, and in all of these photographs that I'm about to show you, you will not see any graffiti on any of these bus shelters that have received the youth-painted murals. This one particular is painted by an elementary school. An artist led the students to paint this, and you can see that the elementary school, North City Elementary School, painted this particular mural. The art varies in form, some modern art, some realistic. This is reminiscent of the Blue Dog art style. And there is no age limit. We can go down right into the elementary schools and have the kids paint murals. They are just as proud of their art as the professional artists are. And it prevents graffiti from being applied to these particular bus stations. The kids can have fun with this too, although this looks like it's just a plain tile. The kids can put messages in there. Very imaginative. Good program. We do have murals in Granite Falls. There are a few around town. Let's take a look at some of them. The first, probably the most famous, is the Gene Wagner mural that's painted on the north face of Key Bank, facing Jack Webb Park. This mural has actually been on postcards circulated around town. There's a mural on the north wall of City Hall. You have to kind of lean over the fence and look down onto it because it's lower than the sidewalk level, but there is a mural there. This particular mural was painted by Fran Farmer in 1993. It's on the north wall of City Hall. There was previously a mural on the south wall of City Hall facing the skate park, but due to graffiti and vandalism, that particular mural was over-painted. There's a mural on the building that's next to the old Timberline, across from Tom Thumb on Alder. And this again was painted by Gene Wagner. I don't have the date, but there is was a dog grooming business in this building. Quite an attractive mural. Omega Pizza has a very nice looking mural in the window of their store. That's been there since 1996. The owner says this mural was painted by an artist named Carol, and we could not locate her last name. There's a mural on the front of Granite Falls Automotive. Very nice garage door painting. And of course the famous tiger on the old high school, now the middle school. This was painted by the class of 2001 as a class project. There are a number of opportunities around Granite Falls where murals would be quite appropriate, and places where they are now receiving graffiti that we saw in previous slides. This, for example, is the north wall of Safeway. I'm sorry, it would be the east wall of Safeway. the old Oso Lumber or Pro Build building, which has now been closed. The slide on the right is Key Bank, and this is just off Galena. And this particular spot receives quite a bit of graffiti, and Key Bank has been very good about getting out there and painting it over when graffiti does appear. However, that requires the purchase of paint and staff time to do that. So this is an opportunity for a business to share in the expense of painting murals. The pump house on the left is, you see on a property just to the left of the road as you're coming into town on Highway 92. It's the last property you really see before you come into the light at Subway and Rite Aid. That might be another opportunity for a nice mural since it's kind of at the entrance to the city. Here is the long wall facing Alder, formerly Gold's Gym, now Mountain Loop Fitness. The Napa building, and on the opposite side of the same building is Pilchuck Automotive. Both of those would be long walls that would be very appropriate for murals. JW Market, this wall frequently receives graffiti. This is the market across the street from McDonald's. This is the 10 building, which is across Stanley from ProBuild, and you can see there is graffiti on this building right now. There's a coffee shop at the other end of this building, and another very appropriate place for a mural. This is Tom Thumb. The alley leading down to IGA, and this is the wall, the south wall of IGA, and there's another one like it on the north. There's 26 other locations that I won't show you, but there are a number of opportunities around Granite Falls where murals would be most attractive and would be used as a deterrent to graffiti. So the question is, who will paint these? Our feeling is that these would be most appropriate for school art projects. We want the youth involved in painting these murals, and school art projects both at the Crossroads, high school, and middle schools would be very appropriate. We have considered and will pursue the idea of having one of the art schools in Seattle provide a scholarship to some of these youth, perhaps have a contest, and winning art design would win a scholarship to art school. It would give us an opportunity to fund one of these budding young artists to continue their education when they may not have an opportunity to do that otherwise. We also will look at local artists who may be interested in either painting a mural or supervising our youth while they paint the mural. We're hoping that once the mural project gets underway, we can get wide press coverage and get the attention of other communities so that they can see what we're doing here in Granite Falls. With that, we may be able to attract some nationally known professional artists to come in and paint murals, and that would be a big boon to the city. Chemainus, a little town up on the Vancouver Island in Canada, they call themselves a little town that did. They had the same issue that Granite Falls is experiencing now, an economic downturn. They decided to paint murals in their town. And they did. They painted a lot of murals. They had wide press coverage, and people came from all over asking if they could paint murals in there. And if you go to Chemainus now, you'll find that the town is full of horse-drawn carriages with tourists going from place to place with a narrator describing each one of these murals. And, of course, those tourists have to eat and sleep. So it has been quite an economic boom for the town of Chemainus. There's another town in Washington, Toppenish. They are dubbed as the City of Murals in Washington. They also have a number of murals. They have gone with kind of a cowboy theme, but they have a unique program there. It's called Mural in a Day. The first mural that they painted, they got everybody together, planned it very carefully. I'm sure they sectioned off the mural, but they painted the entire mural in one day. And they have continued to do that since 1989, doing the Mural in a Day program. Quite interesting. So who pays for all this? We would hope that we would have sponsors. We can see down in the SoDo District examples that they had a number of businesses who chipped in and were recognized on the mural for their contribution. We also would accept donations from local groups, charities, individuals that felt this was a worthwhile program. Of course, the business owners who are having their buildings painted as a graffiti deterrent should be willing to chip in at least some of the cost because it's going to save them the paint and time of remediating the graffiti that would appear there. The Mural Club at Crossroads has said that they would be willing to repair murals that are painted. So if we do receive graffiti or vandalism on an existing mural, the Mural Club would be able to repair that, and it wouldn't be at the cost of the business. Our current project is being funded by substance use abatement funding from the county. It was very interesting that we started with this as an idea with the community coalition, and after our first presentation of the community coalition, after a few days we found that the county had funding available. That would be alcohol and other drug prevention unit that would fund the first mural. So it was kind of a green light for us, and we went to the Crossroads High School and asked if they have an art program there, and they said they certainly do have an art program, and in fact their art teacher was Trevor Williams, who's a muralist. So he is now involved in the program as well. The doors were opening for this program for us quite nicely. So the first program is funded by our AOD prevention unit. Here's what we hope to accomplish. Here's where we're going. Basically our vision statement for the program. We want the Granite Falls Mural Project to be about people taking responsibility for their visual and physical environment, having a positive effect on the community, leaving records of their lives and concerns, and in the process transforming neighborhoods, reducing vandalism and graffiti, and creating new artists out of the youth of our community. That's our goal. Currently we are working on our first mural. The mural is at the Granite Falls Senior Center. Our current team includes Joan Dixon-Smith, the coalition president, and she's our team leader. Trevor Williams is a muralist. As I said, he's the Crossroads art teacher. Joe Nigel is from Snohomish County. He is AOD prevention coordinator, who's very instrumental in us securing the grant for this first mural. Bridget Pergue is Youth Coalition. She's also the principal over at Crossroads. Lori Carlson, fine arts teacher at Granite Falls High School, and Molly Estes, the middle school art teacher, are involved. We have Linda Hall on board, the Granite Falls School District Superintendent, and Steve Alexander from the Thorn Group Fundraising is helping us with this and future fundraising efforts. And there are more members being added all the time to the team. It's a very, very exciting program, and we're looking forward to moving forward. Our progress on the team, with the team so far, we have selected the Granite Falls Senior Center as our first mural. Because of the funding from the AOD funding at county, we have selected the Just One Choice theme for this mural, and that's from the Youth Coalition. The mural will involve some pictures that are appropriate and the Just One Choice logo as well. The painting will be done on the northwest corner facing the skate park, and work actually began on it in mid-October 2012. In addition to the mural, we hope also to place a memorial bench in the vicinity of the mural or somewhere in that park. The memorial bench is the Youth Coalition asked for this to be placed. It's a Be the Change bench, and it is being placed in honor of the local youth from our community who have lost their lives to drugs. This is the photograph from the skate park of the corner of the Senior Center, where you can see we've had some graffiti abated. That is the corner where the mural will be placed, and we can see what a concept art of the mural looks like. And as I said, work is currently underway, so if you went to that location, you can see the current progress on the mural. The next steps some of which have been completed already. We purchased supplies, that's already been completed. We prepared the wall by pressure washing and putting a primer on, that has all been completed. The students designed the background. Those illustrations are currently in progress. And the next step would be to finish the painting. Once the painting is finished, we'll have a ribbon cutting / unveiling, and that will take place on Tuesday, December 11th at 3 p.m. there in Jack Holmes Park, and the public is absolutely welcome to attend that ceremony. I hope that I've given you enough information so that you're as excited about the Granite Falls Mural Project as I am. If you have questions, suggestions, or would like to help in this program, you can email us at mural@granitefallscoalition.org. We look forward to hearing from you and getting your ideas for future projects. Thank you very much for your attention.